In this video we are going to be talking about how I made a player movement controller with the help of Rigidbody 3D in Godot. This really was difficult. I had to think for about 2 or 3 hours because I'm dumb. You're not dumb, I know that fact. So let's explore what I did and you can work on your own. So first, let's see our setup over here. Let's go to move to our scene hierarchy over here. First, we have our player mesh and player rigid body 3D over here. Sorry, it's not a mesh, it's a player rigid body 3D. Then under it, we have three things. Yeah, not this one. We are gonna come back to this a little bit. We have mesh instance 3D. This thing is providing our thing. This what we can look. I mean, the thing is visible because of mesh instance 3D. And then there is collision. The collision is the thing that makes it collide. This orange box over here is collision 3D. This collision 3D allows our player to collide with the stuff that I'm gonna show you in a bit. And then there is this pitch pivot. Under it is a pitch pivot, and then under it is a camera. What this does is it attaches the camera to the player, and then the camera moves with the player. When I tried to put this over here or just in this thing, it was not moving. So I watched a tutorial for this. I had to watch a tutorial for this, and they taught me how to put this. I don't understand why it works like that, but it works like that. And over here you can see how my camera is set up over here. So let's move on to the coding part. And for most of this code, I actually did this part on my own, so let's discuss. Now we all know what extends rigid body 3D is. If you're watching this video, you should probably know. It's importing. It's inheriting stuff from rigid body 3D. It's inheriting stuff from rigid body 3D. Then we are doing address export, so we could edit most of the stuff from our inspector window over here. You can see over here. So we have a forward force, we have max speed, max mouse sensitivity, then mouse speed multiplier and strafe speed. So we are gonna be discussing this. So first, I locked my mouse with lock rotation. Lock rotation is something that is specifically available in rigid body 3D. It locks our player from tumbling left or right or left or right. So when we move to the left, our player is now not tumbling down to the left, or when we are moving to the right, the player is not tumbling to the right. And we do that in the ready, so it would actually happen from the start of the game. There is nothing. I don't think there is a function called awake in Godot, and it's just ready in this thing. Then we move on to our physics process. Physics process is our, in Unity terms, it's, how do I say it? I haven't done Unity in a while. It's update. I think that was called update. Yeah, we have physics process function over here which takes in delta. This is showing yellow because I haven't used delta anywhere, and if I can't even remove it because this thing throws an error. So here we defined a forward direction. It's a my what's happening here is my player in the game is supposed to be moving straight forward. That is the reason. It's just this vector being multiplied with transform basis for forward direction. Then we are applying force to it, and the forward force variable that we had before that was set to 30 is being multiplied over here. 30 units of force is being multiplied to our forward direction vector. I suppose this is a vector by this point, so is being applied to our forward direction vector, and the force is being applied now. With this, our player starts moving straight forward until the infinity, because I haven't set it where it should be stopping. So yeah, then we call the strafe function over here. The strafe function is over here. The strafe function has an input direction of left, right, straight and back. But why there all of the directions when we just want to move either left or right in strafe is because this get vector function in the input requires you to input everything with a keybind, and I did not want to just assign random keys, so I just put everything to WSAD or arrow keys, whichever you prefer. I put both in this thing. Then there's direction. Like before, we have a vector that's being multiplied to the transform basis and going into the direction, and same as before, the strafe speed, which was this, is being, yeah, actually this mouse things are actually not needed over here anymore, so I can actually remove, and my code's smaller now. Then we are applying force in this strafe as well, which means now our game runs. Actually, I mean, our game runs. It was running to begin with. Now our enemy is also a rigid body over here. I changed everything. It still has a character body 3D, which was actually doing stuff before. I didn't know that you could actually use rigid bodies in Codot. I thought character body 3D did everything. Then I realized, wait, this thing does not even collide or apply physics. That is why I changed everything on this thing, and I'm still doing it on this thing. I forgot about this part. Now let's move in with our thingy thing, and as our thing was moving, you can see it collided, our enemy fell down, and you actually saw everything in action. Now let me show you again. This time our keybinds are actually working. I can press actually both WSAD and work on it. Our W and S don't really work on these, or up arrow and down arrow don't work on these, only left and right arrow or A and D. And that's it for this video. I'm gonna see you next time with next update.